Welcome to the final video in Introduction to Google Drive. In this video, we are going to learn to search our drive and how to locate files that we have lost track of. So there are a couple of ways you can organize your drive if it's in list view. If you'll notice right here, my drive is sorted alphabetically by name. If I click this arrow, it will sort it in reverse alphabetical order. And the way it typically organizes, if I go back to my front drive page, is all of the folders will be at the top and the files will stay at the bottom. So I really encourage you to put all of your files into folders because it will be much easier to keep track of where your files are. So I do not like my files in reverse order. So I'm going to switch this back so that is alphabetical. If you'll notice here, it will tell you who the owner of the files are. So if you are looking for a file that your neighbor teacher shared with you, then if the teacher created it, then his or her name will be under owner. You can also organize by last modified by anybody, last modified by myself, or last opened by me. So I can rearrange so that it'll reorder them based on what was modified. I haven't done a whole lot of modifications. That's why these aren't moving. And then I can't organize by file size, but I can view by file size. So that is how your structure is set up. If you prefer grid view, which some people do, this is a nice way to, if you have a lot of graphics heavy files that you're looking for, it will do a thumbnail showing you what's on the front page of the file. And sometimes that makes it much easier to locate files as well. You cannot rearrange much in terms of what order they're in, except for the name. Again, you can do alphabetically or reverse alphabetically. That's really all you can do to change the sorting when you're in grid view. But the easiest way to locate a missing file is to search your drive for it. And you can go as simple as just, it was a PDF, so you're going to have it pull up all of the PDFs. Or you can search for, that the word computer was in the file, and it will pull up all of the files with the word computer in it. I don't have a lot of files, so there's not going to be a long list, but it will normally only pull up the first 5 or 10. If it's not in that list, if you'll go ahead and press enter, then it will pull the full list, except I accidentally chose that file. So I'm going to do a search for computer, and now here's the list of all of my files that have computer either in the title or somewhere within the body of the document. If that isn't helping you find, then you can click this arrow and open up your search options, and now you can get really specific. So I know that the file I'm looking for was a PDF, and I know that I was the owner. If I know that my neighbor teacher was the owner, I could put in their username, do specific person. But I know that I was the owner, and I know that I don't know where in my drive it is, so I'm going to leave that as anywhere. Maybe I know when it was modified. That will narrow it down. If I know part of the name or part of the words in the file or who it was shared with, I can fill all of those in, and then I can do my search, and now it will pull up a very specific list of files for me. I can also search within a specific folder. This is a fairly new feature, but if I right click on one of my folders, either in the sidebar or in my main drive, I now have this option to search within practice folder. So if I have a folder that has 100 or 200 or more files, but I know the file I need is in that folder, I can search within that specific folder. And it's going to open the folder, and then I can search something that I know is in the file name, and it's going to pull up the files with that word in it that are in that specific folder. So that helps me locate missing files as well. When you're working with Drive, as I stated in earlier videos, the more specific you are with the file names, the easier it will be. And I do encourage you to put all of your files into folders because Google Drive can very quickly get away from you and become very disorganized and difficult to manage if you don't. So this concludes searching for files in Google Drive, and it concludes our series on Introduction to Google Drive. If you need any assistance, please contact the digital learning coach on your campus. And please remember you have 3 attempts to pass the assessment at the end of this module. So if you don't manage to pass it after the first 2 times, I urge you to seek help from the digital learning coach before you take it that 3rd time. Thank you and best of luck.